Welcome back to the European Journeyman. In today's episode, we have our very first game in the league phase of the Conference League. Obviously, since you last left us, we played our last playoff game. We played a couple of games in the league and the cup. We lost one to Djurgårdens, but beat Gothenburg and Osters, as well as progressing in the Swedish Cup as well. So we are into the Swedish Cup, which will obviously start next season. We're in a weird place at the minute in the league because we've focused so much on the European stuff. We've started to drop away a little bit, but it's very, very tight in the league. As you can see, we've got a game in hand, which if we were to win, we would go second, only 2 points behind the table, the team who are top. We've lost a lot of games, but they've all been very narrow losses. We've only lost by more than one goal once. So we have lost a few, but as you can see, with our goal difference, when we do win games, we are winning pretty comprehensively. We don't just win by a single goal most games. So we've got this weird thing where we are probably the best team in the league, but we're just further down the table than we'd expect to be. So we've got two games today. We've got Icelandic Breiðablik in from Iceland in the league phase, our first game in the league phase, and then we're going to play Norrköping in the Prem, just as a league game, a team down in the bottom three. So realistically, we should be winning that, catching up a little bit in terms of points, and I think we are very much still in a chance of winning the league. As we've said before, we'll cover the team first before we start talking about that. So we've got Harrison in goal, back four of Drakes, Thomas, Hempt, Epia, and Dewar, Gorman and Leanderson in midfield, Ibrahimov, David, Mundell, Smith, and Kubo in the attack. Elbu Jufi is going to be out for a little bit, as is Eriksson, as is Tolf. I think, have you met these boys? I'm pretty sure you have met all these lads. I'm pretty sure we talked about them last time. If there is anyone new, then I think, yeah, like I said, I think last time, it wasn't that long ago, we played our last game. That was on the 26th of August. Have we done any transfers since then? When did he come in? 24th of August. He was the most recent signing, so I don't think there's been anything. So yeah, we've got a good side. I think it's perhaps slightly weakened with the injuries, but we should be okay to still do what we always do. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because I think we want to kind of see how far we can go with this club, but I do think we are starting to hit a little bit of a ceiling now. But I've said before, basically the end point will be the end of our European journey, especially if we can win the league this year. Whether we get through this Conference League phase, I think we'll probably know pretty early. But we did quite well against some pretty good teams in the playoffs for the Europa League. So I really think we've got a good chance at maybe qualifying out of the league phase. We're not going to play every league phase game on camera because there is a few of them, but we are definitely doing this first one, and we are definitely. Oh my God, he's missed a sitter. Mundell Smith has missed an absolute sitter there. Yeah, we're definitely going to cover some league stuff as well because, like I said, we are still in with a shout of winning the league. And the other thing as well is we need to make sure we do still at least get into Europe, because if we don't, the board might not be too happy with that. I can't even remember what the objective for us was. But we are still in the Swedish Cup, which is again another route into Europe. But again, I'm not really focused about next season all that much. There we go. Mundell Smith makes up for the missed sitter. He makes it 1-0. This is the team I would expect us to beat, to be fair. But yeah, I don't think we look at next season too much. I think we just need to focus on this season. And I am starting to think, yeah, we'll potentially finish off our European journey and then move from there. So whether that's after the league phase, whenever we get knocked out in the knockouts, or if we don't manage to progress through the league phase, then that will be another instance where we'll end it. So there's every chance we will progress into next season, but I don't think we'll be completing next season. So we probably won't do any league games or cup games or anything like that. Probably won't even do a transfer special because, again, we're not going to be at the club for long enough for it to really matter. And I think we're getting close to episode 50 now, which I think this has got to be the longest I've ever spent at one single club, taking them all the way from the fourth tier. And again, if we can win the league this year, that would top it off really nicely. But even if we don't win the league, I think it's maybe time to move on. Let me know what you think anyway, because I think what I'm trying to say here, the reason that I keep bringing it up is because I think myself, I'm getting maybe not bored with it, but just I'm ready for a new challenge. I'm thinking more than one other. Like, and I wouldn't be really that excited about playing another season here. Whereas I am still excited about how far we can go in Europe. We have conceded one here. We did actually score a second. I wasn't even paying attention. Abragamov got it, but 2-1 on the night. But again, these are all just league games, so goals. There's no second leg or anything like that, like there was in the playoffs. These are just one-off games, and it's like that. I think it's like how chess do it now. I mean, obviously it's been like this for a couple of years now. I think people were a little bit apprehensive about the change to the European competitions, going to like this league phase. I think it's slightly more games, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which I prefer. I kind of didn't really like the group stage anyway in the old Champions League, Europa League, whatever. Just playing the same team twice, home and away. I didn't love it, and I think you would often get like teams get an easy group. So like Man City would get Shakhtar and they'd leather them twice, and then it would be like kind of pointless, isn't it? Whereas this, I think, because there's a little bit more, it's a little bit more interesting because you're only playing teams once, so you don't get that like second chance. So if you drop points to like a team in like a lower tier, lower pot, you've kind of just messed it up. Whereas if you've got like only a group of 4 playing one from each pot, it's easier to not mess up if you're a big club. But if you're a smaller club, I don't know whether the group or the league phase is better. But obviously most teams go. It's kind of like the World Cup and stuff now. Like most teams get through the groups, so it's really not that interesting anyway. Like you've got more chance of staying in this group, and considering there's going to be some pretty poor teams like from potentially like lower leagues, like Wales and even like Iceland, for example, aren't that highly rated. I wouldn't expect us to have too much problems getting through this. But again, because of the injuries we've got, we are a little bit maybe limited in the firepower. Mundell Smith seems to have converted to a striker really well, which I'm really happy with. I still need to see the best from Kubo. We've not really seen enough from him. Like there, he could be getting past his man there to get the ball quicker, but he doesn't. His effort there cannons off a defender out for a corner. The highlight's still going. Abragamov is looking real tired today, though, so he's going to have to come off. I think we bring Deli Thomas on, who is, again, still trying to see the best of him. I think we have signed some good players, and I do think that some of the boys we brought in, like Leanderson, David, I think they've Drake's Thomas and Hempt. I think the back line has definitely improved. King Dewar as well on the left back. So I definitely think we've improved defensively, but I don't know if the attacking options we've brought in have seriously improved us all that much. We'll bring Deli onto the left-hand side. We'll bring James Scanlon on the right. We'll take Gorman off for Osterberg as well, a Swedish pairing in midfield, and Christian Berman can come on for Drake's Thomas because he is a little bit tired and on a yellow card. So at the minute 2-1, which would give us a win in the league. I mean, if we look at the table, we can have a look at some of the teams that are in this competition. So, I mean, if we look at this, I don't think there's any team in here on our day we couldn't beat. I think maybe like a Premier League side like Brighton is probably too high. A Stuttgart is probably aiming too high. Fiorentina, those kind of big teams from the big clubs. Because I think that's what the Conference League will end up being. It'll end up being won by teams. I mean, it's already been done like that. West Ham, Crystal Palace, Frankfurt, like the sort of second, third rung of teams. You look at West Ham, they won the Conference League, and then a couple of years later they got relegated. So I think the Premier League's just so tough now. It's just such a high quality league. I mean, there's teams. I mean, Gothenburg are in here as well. I didn't even realise. So we're not the only Swedish team in the league. So I think we've got a real good chance of getting through the league phase, which means obviously we will continue into next season, which means we'll have to sign a new contract. I'm toying with signing a new contract or just letting it run, because I think if we just let it run, it'll just go to month, and then we don't need to really worry about like signing a new deal or anything. But I think with that, it also leaves you to just getting like randomly released or randomly sacked. Mundell Smith has had a second year, but VAR are checking it, but they have awarded it. It looked fine to me. It has been awarded. So yeah, I mean, honestly, a good start. Gets us into the qualifications. Obviously, ideally, you want to get in the top 8, then you go like a round further. But anything in the top playoff spots would do us. Just qualifying would be an achievement. So I really don't know what the end goal is. But looking at the teams in it, I honestly think we could do okay. I genuinely think we could go far. So I guess we'll kind of just take it a game at a time. But I mean, the other thing is as well, we're going to get a lot of money for doing well in this league, and perhaps we could progress the club further than I thought. If we make a lot of money, maybe we could progress the club a lot. But I still think I think I'm just a little bit sick of playing in Sweden now. So I don't know. It's one to toy with. I guess we'll come to that decision once our European journey ends. But for now, a good start. I think next games will probably just come back for will be the end of the season. But we've got a league game against Norrköping next. Let's go play that one. So for our second and final game of the episode, it is Norrköping. The only changes, to the team are Christian Berman comes in as Drakes Thomas is suspended for this game. Tycho de Witt goes up front because Mundell Smith has a bruised foot, so he's not fully fit for the game, which means Deli Thomas comes in at left mid, and then Lee Anderson and Osterberg are going to partner in midfield because Gorman really just needs a rest. So we are a little bit makeshift in attack, I guess. It's probably the best option. Obviously, we are 2 strikers down now, and obviously Kubo has yet to really hit the ground running in terms of being an out-and-out striker. So a little bit concerned we are without the firepower, but this is a team who are, down at the bottom end of the table. We shouldn't have too many issues against this lot. And I do think we are perhaps in a better place now. I think one thing that was happening, we were dropping points in the league, was because we were just had a lot of big games on the horizon in Europe and things like that. And I think that does distract focus. Obviously, it adds extra fitness issues and things like that. So, yeah, I don't think it was ideal for us. But I think, obviously, now that we're there, it should settle down slightly. But we are playing this just 4 days after the first game in the Conference League phase. So every chance it could still affect us today. Again, we've got an injury probably because we are playing more games. So things like that are still going to affect us. But we are still in a chance of winning the league. So we really need to just start putting a run together. If we can just start winning game after game in the league, I've got a good confidence that we can do it. But we just don't seem to be bringing in the Euro. I think we're just getting a little bit derailed with the European stuff, that it's kind of making was not as good potentially in the league. I think we maybe are lacking a little bit in terms of squad depth as well. I think that's a fair statement. We could have a little bit more. I think in terms of wingers and stuff we're fine, but in terms of strikers, players in those kind of positions, we are slightly limited. And De Witt goes really close to getting a goal there. Deli Thomas chasing after the loose ball into King Dewar, who does really well to get round his man. He's tackled though. It looks like he was stopped. And a penalty was given. That looked really generous. He just kind of stopped playing and gave the penalty. It didn't look like a penalty to me, but Ibrahimov to take smashes it behind the goalkeeper, Szigeti. I think we've talked about him before, Szigeti, the spaghetti keeper. 1-0 up against Norrköping. Love to see it, but yeah, not the best start, but we're getting the goal, and that ultimately puts us in a good position. I think the other thing is, as well, as our position's a little bit false if we look at the live table. If we pull that up, we are down in 5th, but we're not seeing the games played, which we can do there. As you can see, we are still, very much in a chance of winning the league because of those extra games in hand. And once we get all level on games, hopefully we'll be there. The good thing is our goal difference is so much better than everyone else in the league. The league is real tight. I mean, I've never seen a league table be this tight with so few games remaining. So hopefully a few start to drop away, and we can really narrow in on the teams that we're up against. But at the minute, it's really a very open league. And again, if we could win the league, that would be perfect. I feel like that would be a real achievement, considering we came from the 4th tier all the way up to the 1st tier. Osterberg from distance, Szigeti, the spaghetti keeper. I mean, he's got spaghetti hands because it went straight through him there. None of that makes sense, but he's got to say that wasn't really a difficult effort. It was right in the corner, but it wasn't hit that hard. But there you go, 2-0 up at the half. I am pleased with that. I would like to see potentially Kubo get a goal. I think he's a good player. I just don't seem to be getting the best out of him in this sort of striker channel forward position. So potentially we may need to look at that. He might be someone who just takes a little bit of time to settle, and then once he gets going, he'll be fine. He's got all of the attributes to be a good player and to be a good goal scorer. So I'm not really sure what's holding him back at the minute, whether it's just a case of settling in, learning the language, because sometimes players can be affected by that. Harrison, he's another one. What is this bottom hand corner? It's cursed. He should be saving that. He should be getting down to that. We should be getting blocks in, obviously, but Harrison's got to save that. I haven't been like over the moon impressed with Harrison. I do think there's some weaknesses in our squad where, like, I do think the goalkeeper, he could be better. I haven't been like overly impressed with him. And honestly, I preferred our keeper before Balls. But, you know, when a big bid comes in and the board kind of go over your head, you can't really do much. Berman misses out on the header again, not our regular right back, which obviously suspension is nothing to do with the European fixtures. But Harrison does well there to collect. I'm going to make a sub. I kind of want to bring a striker on. I think I'm going to risk Mundell. I'm going to risk Mundell Smith in a game we're winning. That seems daft. I mean, it's really like the defenders, but we are lacking in. Again, we're just lacking in players in those positions. Can you? He can't see. He is a striker. He's very much an out-and-out striker. He's got 4-star. I'm just gonna have to go with it. I was gonna make a change, but there's really nothing to make. I'm happy enough with the wingers. Potentially take Thomas off, and maybe chuck Boyerson up front. But Boyerson's not really got the quality, so I'd rather just keep Tycho DeWitt there, even though he's not really done much so far. There's again Kubo balling behind, and he just hasn't gone for it. He just hasn't got in behind. I'm not really sure what's stopping him from getting that pass, whether it's speed. Again, a ball over the top. He's just, I think he's perhaps lacking in physicality because he's just not quick enough to get in behind. He's not strong enough to battle in the air, or maybe his jumping reach isn't good enough. He just seems to be physically lacking. And we're not. We are quite a physical side, an attacking side, but we use our physicality quite a lot. We aren't super technical possession based, which maybe suits him. Harrison, oh my god, I thought he'd had a mare. I thought he'd nana-wristed it into his own goal. This is weirdly like such a competitive game. These are right in the bottom three. We should just be, obviously you've got no God-given right to beat anyone, but I do think we should be winning this. I don't think we should be having as many problems as this. And yes, we are without our two main goal scorers, which is potentially what it is, but we're looking a little sus defensively as well. We're giving the ball away too much, and that's because Kubo's just not winning anything in attack. But he's our only out-and-out striker, so he's got to stay on in that regard. I do think we will make a change at some point. I have noticed since the last updates, though, the highlights are a little bit more long, I guess. They're a bit weird. We keep just knocking it long, and it's not working. And the weird thing is, that's not really... We're not a direct team. Osterberg... I mean, he's got options to play someone in if someone makes a run off it, but he's just decided to go with a crazy effort. But yeah, highlights seem really long now. I don't really know what the dealio is with that. But we're going to take... I think Ibrahimov is going to have to come off for DeWitt. We'll swap them around. Not for DeWitt, but we'll put him there. I think we'll have to just chuck Boyerson up front. He's more of a winger. Well, he is a winger, and he's not a great one at that. I don't really want to risk Mundell Smith because we are winning the game. And he is injured technically, so I don't really want to bring him on when he's recovering from an injury. But if we do concede and we go level, I guess we're going to have to take that risk because we are... Oh, I thought I would give it away a penalty. Edge of the box, don't do it. Oh no, oh my god, it's clipped off the bar. He should have scored it. It should be 2-2. We are massively riding our luck this game. We're going to bring James Scanlon on, hopefully someone with a bit of quality. I think Willie Anderson's got to come off as well. He's had a honker. Gorman's a little bit tired, but yeah, I think he's going to have to come off. So we'll make those changes. Hopefully Scanlon and Gorman can come on, maybe settle us down a little bit. But it's another corner for North and these are going to get a point at the very least today. I don't see us getting out of this with 3 points now. We just haven't been on it. We just haven't been on it in the league in so long. I don't think we are a league winning side unless we can really start to put a string of results together. I mean, they've been the better side. We've just got more quality. Kubo's got to come off. Honestly, I'm just going to risk it. For the last 10, Kubo's coming off. He's had a honker. He's been real poor. I think once both Mundell Smith and Boujoufi are back, they're going to be our front two. I think Kubo's just... He's just not cooking. He's just not cooking at all. And I just don't know what really is the issue with him. And a couple of the new boys, I don't think they've settled in properly yet. So... Tycho de Witt has been probably the best of the lot, but even he hasn't been unbelievable. Deli Thomas again, not really seen enough from him, and they're quality players. When I look at their attributes, there's no reason that they shouldn't be doing well. So I'm not really sure what the reason is. Berman, he should be better. He's got to bury that. He's got to smash it past the keeper, leave no doubt, and then it's 3-1, and we win the game. But we win regardless. We got a little bit lucky there. 3 points still away from the league leaders, but again, I think that's probably with a game in hand. So that wasn't really a rousing rendition of us winning the league, but it's 3 points nonetheless. So I think what we'll do, we don't have too many league games left. I think what we'll do is we'll come back for Punic, which I don't even know where they're from. I've never heard of them. Armenia, there we go, an Armenian side. And then I think we come back for Varnamo, the last team in the last game of the division. So we'll play Panathinaikos. We already played them in the qualifiers anyway, off camera. Punic. Actually, you know what? No, we'll come back for Varnamo and Stade Brest. That's a better game. Stade Brest, a big side. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll come back for Varnamo. Actually, no, we won't, because that's like a massive gap. Yeah, we'll come back for Punic in Varnamo, and then I think we'll probably maybe do the last 2 games. We'll play it by ear. But we've got some games off camera to do. I guess, well, to be fair, actually, a lot of these are... See, I don't really know where to come back for, because these 3 games are all going to be really important for the league. Because I mean, we can't skip those 2, can we? Those are 2 big games. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll come back for here. We'll come back for this team. I don't really know what to do, because I don't want to do... I don't really know where to come back. I don't want to just come back for the last game of the season, because again, I think we've got some big league games. I think we have to come back for here, and then we'll play it by ear. So we'll either do 3 league games and just skip the Conference League off camera, or if we don't do so well, then we'll adjust it. But yeah, I think... Well, I've also got these 2 to play as well. So if we lose both of them and we're not going to win the league, then there's no point coming back. So I will play it a little bit by ear, but I think we'll be back where I think necessary. And it might be 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. I don't know. It'll be 3 maximum, but it could just be 1 game episode. Who knows? But it could be 3. So I guess we'll come back where I feel's right. Basically at a point where it's like the league running. I think we've got only 2 Conference League games, and they're not against huge sides. We already played these in the qualifiers. So you've already seen them. An Armenian side, we should be fine there. So, yeah, I think we'll come back for the end of the league, and that will be next episode. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the European Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.